I'm Rochelle, and this is episode 144 of the Genuine Realtor Show, which airs every Friday. When this week started, I had a very different idea of what I was going to share with you, but the sun is shining. We are coming up on a year of these rolling lockdowns, and I don't know, I figured it was the perfect time to take you for a walk on Burlington Beach.
Let's start our adventure on the west end of Spencer Smith Park, or the northern tip of the beach strip. This half-paved, half-dirt path makes up just over 2 kilometers of the stunning waterfront trail. It's a beautiful route that traces the Canadian side of the St. Lawrence River down and around the Great Lakes. It's bike stroller walker friendly and runs parallel to the beach. Now be aware that it is mixed use, so keep your speed down, and it's good to note that while dogs on leashes are welcome on the path, local bylaws prohibit dogs on the beach unless they are registered aid dogs.
This is a part of the Maple neighborhood. Now, if you're curious to know more about the Maple neighborhood, click that link right there. It'll take you to a tour. However, right now, we're focused on the beach, and right about there, back in the day, the Brant Inn was the place to be.
At one point in its colorful history, there was a large sun deck over the water with room for dining or dancing on the famous Sky Club dance floor. Burlington's beach strip has undergone a rebrand and is now known as the Burlington Beach Way. With about 24 acres of naturally sandy beaches, shorelines, amenities, and a playground, the Beachway has gone through many changes over the years, dating back to before the 1800s. Originally a trade route for the First Nations, this stretch of land has long been the most direct route south towards the States, and for many years there was even a railway line which spurred the development of cottages, as well as bringing a steady stream of tourists. At one time, there was even a theme park on this narrow stretch of sandbar, which connects Burlington to Hamilton, attracting people from far and wide. It all started back in 1903 as a modest tourist attraction and grew over time as people continued to flock by the trolley load to the Beachway. But in 1978, the city decided their run was over, asking the park to shut down and move along. There are multiple beach access points along the path, including the Beachway Snack Shack with showers, washrooms, and more. There's also a short boardwalk to the south which pops you out at the far end of Burlington Beach by the canal and Twin Piers. Unfortunately, it looks like the public won't be allowed to access the piers for much longer, as allowing the public on has become a liability. So if you've been wanting to check them out, don't wait too much longer. We can't miss chatting about the iconic twin bridges that span the Burlington Bay Canal. The canal was first built in 1832 as a much narrower access for boats from the protected harbor. The lift bridge you see here is the 6th bridge in the canal's history, and this latest version was built in 1962. The 55-foot stone tower was built in 1858, and beside it is the modest keeper's cottage. The original wooden lighthouse burned to the ground in 1856, but this one has stood the test of time and still keeps watch over the canal. The first bridge was built in 1826, and being made out of wood, it ended up being damaged in a storm after only 4 years. There have been a variety of bridges over the years, and at one time, even the railway cars and trolleys would cross here. After the tracks were long gone and traffic to the area continued to increase, cars would back up for miles on popular weekends, which led to the need for the locally iconic Skyway Bridge. Fun fact, at one point there was serious discussion of tunneling under instead. Now, it's hard to imagine the city without the view of the Skyway on the horizon, but it almost never was. This is considered the southern border between Hamilton and Burlington, but it wasn't always so cut and dry. For years, residents of the beach strip were confused as they were considered Hamilton, though maps were not consistent with the beginning or end, and most of their amenities and services came from Burlington. So they were caught in this strange limbo. In 1965, after years of back and forth debates, Burlington annexed the beach strip and the north side of the canal officially became a part of Burlington. Nowadays, we don't always see much of that rich history because since the mid-90s, the city has been collecting the properties. Their vision is to create what will surely be a beautiful community space, but it's a bittersweet farewell to the last of the cottages that are the root of this colorful community. Thankfully, the Hamilton side has some stunning examples, both old and renewed. There's a heck of a lot of history on this sandbar in the city.
Thank you so much for joining me on a tour of Burlington Beach and for a little dose of history. Until next week, keep it genuine. I feel like that weirdo who's carrying around their camera. I'm getting over it, but it still feels really weird.